Hello, my name is Chris and you're watching Too Many Side Quests. And today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Today I'm adding a brand new faction to Helldivers universe. And just to be clear, this is pure fiction. Just a bit of fun imagining how a new faction could fit into the Helldivers universe while still keeping the chaos that makes the game great. And personally, I don't exactly feel like there needs to be a fourth faction at the moment. I think we have enough variation between the three we have. But I have seen online that a few people have kind of estimating or guessing what they feel a fourth faction would be based on the Helldivers universe itself. And you know what? It was a fun question, a fun idea, so I thought I'd throw in my 2 cents. And to be honest, people are getting it wrong. I'm sorry to say it. I see a few of the most popular answers would be aliens, predators, even the Thing pop up. Fantastic films, and some of my favourite creature design sci-fi. But they're wrong. They're wrong because although they're great alien architects, they don't match the vibe that Helldivers is. Like, they're overwhelming, yes, but not by sheer force, by physical strength and prowess in itself. There's arguments that the Predator and the Alien can kind of be a subclass of the Illuminate and the Terminids, if we really wanted to get into that route of it. And the Thing is more psychological horror than it is overwhelming odds, so it wouldn't match the kind of B-movie shoot 'em up. So the next question is then, what faction would fit it? That's an old sci-fi movie that you can base an enemy type on, that has overwhelming odds that could be thrown at the Helldivers and yourself in waves, and still keep it fun and actiony while fitting in with the lore. They're not just copy and pasting them in. So looking back on old sci-fi movies, the only one that I think fits the bill is the Blob. And for those of you who don't know what that is, understandable. It was a wild sci-fi movie made in the 1950s of an outer space alien hitting Earth in a meteorite as a blob, and it would latch itself onto human, gain biomass, and grow and grow and grow until it takes over everything. And just to sell the point, I'm going to pop the trailer in just about now.
Every one of you watching this screen, look out, because soon, very soon, the most horrifying monster menace ever conceived will be oozing into this theater.
So right now you're probably thinking, okay, cool, but how does that fit the Helldivers universe? How is everything else wrong? Where did it come from? How did it spread? And most importantly, how do you even fight it? And I'll say, okay, sit tight. Okay, this whole point of video, relax, I'm getting there. Because going forward, I'm going to cover the Blob's origins, how it spread, how we fight it, and how we eventually push it back. And with the Blob itself, keep in mind, I'm using some creative freedoms with the Blob. It won't just be one singular enemy. There will be spread out, because otherwise it's not overwhelming odds. It's just a bullet sponge. So I'll keep that in mind going forward. But what I'll start with is its origins, where it came from.
Because soon, very soon, the most horrifying monster menace ever conceived.
So, humanity hasn't had near control over the galaxy over the last 100 years since the last galactic war. Super expanded, securing territory, pushing threats further back. So something like this shouldn't really exist. We would have been found, we would have experimented on it, we probably would have been the bad guys in it. But luckily, our head may have already given us a possible answer. Not directly, but hidden in lore. And the answer is the Illuminate. Are already known for their hive mind connection, their advanced technology, and the creation of something new to the Helldivers universe, the Void. Which, according to official Helldivers records, the Void is a strange intergalactical phenomenon created by the Illuminate, with exospores that plunge the entire planet into impenetrable darkness. It neither emits nor reflects light, and probes sent inside have never returned. So in other words, whatever's inside the Void is completely unknown and completely uncontrollable. The second piece of the puzzle is the Voteless. Now, that's another key force the Illuminate have. They capture super citizens who are being experimented on and transformed into obedient soldiers. That makes up the largest portion of the Illuminate army itself, but they also lack any kind of weapons or protection, meaning that they're expendable, just like us actually. But in recent missions, the Illuminate have been deploying Voteless in massive numbers across planets. Now, often with little to no protection. So the question becomes, is this a strategy to spread fear and chaos? or a desperate attempt to reduce the numbers before something goes wrong. And that, my good soul, is the opening for the Blob. So, during the new galactic war, the Illuminate faced a growing problem. The voteless population was increasing rapidly, but controlling through the central hive network is coming at a cost. Every human memory, every scream, every moment of fear, all of it was being shared across the network. It was overwhelming and quickly becoming unsustainable. So Illuminate searched for a solution, and deep within the void they found one. Floating in the darkness were strange jelly-like meteorites, dormant, cold, and waiting. When recovered and exposed to warmth, the organisms inside began to react. They consumed biomass, they adapted to their environment, and most importantly, they responded to a simple command: spread. At first, the discovery seemed like a breakthrough. An organism created a second control network, a low-level hive-mind system that could manage the voteless without flooding the main Illuminate mind with the human thoughts and emotions. It was effective, it was scalable, it was safe, or at least it appears to be. To protect themselves, the Illuminate engineers inputted a safeguard. They combined their own DNA with the organism's structure, making themselves as immune to the spread command. A biological failsafe, let's say. A safety net. But evolution doesn't respect safety nets. And as the numbers of voteless grew, so did the network, connecting multiple, singles strengthened, and eventually something changed. A new command emerged, not issued by the Illuminate, not programmed by the scientists, but generated by the organism itself. Corrupt. Separate. On the planets with large voteless population, units began to turn on each other. Bodies fused together, limbs twisted and merging. Entire squads collapsed into a mass of piles of biomass. And then those piles began to move, breaking down, reforming, growing, until something new stood where the army once was. A new faction, a new threat, simply known as the Blob. The first signs of the outbreak didn't come with explosions, they came with silence. Signet 23 went dark. Communication stopped, supply lines vanished, and without warning, multiple Illuminate forces abandoned the planet. At first, Super Horse assumed there was a tactical withdrawal, but then another system fell. Setia. At this time, the pattern became clear. Instead of defending the infected worlds, the Illuminate began reinforcing their surrounding planets. Not to stop the spread, not to contain it, more importantly, to redirect it to us, to our settlements. What we're seeing here isn't retreat, it's coordinate, a controlled path. The infected systems are being sacrificed one by one, funneling the outbreak through the specific sectors. While the Illuminate fortify everything else, they aren't fighting the Blob, they're steering it. Directly to us. Field report. Force contact. Shete assault mission. Operation name, silent contact. Location, Setia. Unit, 3rd Helldiver Recon Squad, Iron Lantern. Reporting officer, Sergeant Mara Kessler. Status, mission escalated to active containment. Eventually, Super Ort issued a major order. Investigate the system, determine what happened on Setia, contain a threat. This marks the first confirmed contact. Mission log, entry 1. Touchdown was uneventful. 2 uneventful. Once planetside, the environment was unnaturally calm. No fires, no alarms, no offensives at all. No signs of organised resistance, just silent. And a thick knee-high mist spread slowly across the ground. Visibility remained acceptable, but the air felt wrong. The mist felt wrong. It didn't react to the wind. Even our movement, it felt like it was clinging to our legs. But we advanced with caution. One of the guys kneeled down to examine it. It wasn't harmless. So he couldn't breathe. He couldn't even hold his weapon steady. Kept shaking. After that, then he moved all sluggishly, kind of dizzy, confused. It wore off. So from that point forward, we wasn't going prone. It was kneeling or standing only. Entry 2. We found something. It's a pile of corpses, human and squid alike. Honestly, it's hard to tell anymore. All of them are fused together, covered in a thick slime. No wounds, no sign of combat, no explosions. Most importantly, no survivors. After a few minutes, we checked the area. Still no patrols, no movement, no response at all. The map seems to be clear. We secured the site, or at least we thought we did. We assumed it was abandoned. That when Ellis, he initiated a control burn on the corpses to prevent any kind of biological contamination. The reaction was immediate. The mist thickened, ground temporarily spiked, the surrounding biomass began to shift, and then the environment, it felt like it fought back. The second that flame hit the bodies, the slime moved. It was aggressive, it was fast. It just jumped out and attacked, latching themselves onto us, sticking us to the ground, slowing us down, burning us. We managed to shoot him, but the flame, Ellis, he burnt them. They blew. They just blew. Every one of them, they kind of swelled and exploded. He didn't make it. It was like acid, lava, magma. I couldn't explain it. He just melted in front of me. We sent in a replacement, warned them about the flames. They didn't believe us. It worked. It was effective, but dangerous. After that, the silence was gone. These things, slime, they just emerged from every crack, every crevice. They just attacked constantly. The mist was clinging to us. My hand was getting shaky. It was hard to aim, and these small blobs, they were jumping. They were like little grasshoppers. It's hard to get a beat on them, especially when your arm is shaking. They just stick to you. Once they're stuck, you can't use your gun. You have to use a pistol. You have to punch them. You have to jump. You have to get these things off you. They melt you. They'll kill you. To make matters stranger, there were still squids on the planet, but they didn't engage us. So they retreated. They hopped into transfer vessels. They flew, entered low orbit above the combat zone. The ships didn't engage. They just tried to leave. Of course, not even getting off planet side. They were just blown down by the super destroyer. Ask Squad Leader Kessel why they didn't engage us. Our response was immediate, because we're Helldivers. No clarification needed, I suppose. We pushed on. After a few minutes of dealing with the blobs, we know something familiar, at least semi-familiar. It was a voteless, but it was swollen, it was bulkier, it was slower. We raised the weapons to engage, but it just fell back. Hit the ground and erupted. The chest split open and a giant blob that was shaped like a flower. I don't know how to describe it, but it just launched out of it and slammed itself against the ground, launching mountains of slimes at us. They just emerged into the air, and while we were shooting down, we didn't even notice there was flying ones, kind of bubbling like acid and chemicals, shooting at us from the sky, dropping seeds to the ground, contaminating it, slowing it. It was a disaster. We lost 2 more Helldivers there, but of course we pushed forward. You know, support needs us. We made it to one of the cities. It was covered in slime, but there was life, there was activity, there was people in the buildings. So we did what all Helldivers did. We responded. We know the fire is dangerous, but we engulfed one of the buildings in it, breached the gap, and got civilians out. They were evacuated, but we lost more people that day. After that, we called evac and we left. Support issued command after that to do a full-on invasion of the planet, stop the threat where it lies. I volunteered. 3 gruesome days. We fought in that planet. I don't know where all the slime came out of, but they just kept appearing. Fun fact, if you throw a grenade, the slime will pick that shit up and just charge towards the nearest Helldiver. So explosives don't work. You throw beacons, they pick the beacons up, they run towards you. Fire turns them into mini bombs. Bullets breaks them apart, launches them back. Shotguns are the best, and cold. They really hate the cold. Apparently, Superwater is working on a new weapon that can ice them. Gas kind of works. It turns the regular ones into floaters. Then these ones are floaters, they'll pop with a bullet. So that helps, I suppose. We took the planet though. Or at least I hope so. But yeah. Mission 1. Superwater has reclassified this as a priority target. New MO is to take Setia and slowly make our way towards the void. I'm ready. We know what to expect now. They are our surprises. We're going in and we're going in heavy. For support. For Mars democracy. Now, just for the sake of lore and the sake of the story, let's say now the MO was successful. We pushed the Blob back out of Setia. That was our defensive mission in the Helldiver universe. Now, defensive missions, I know I didn't go into full in the story I made there, but they'll broke into categories. Same thing, kind of evac civilians, clear out spawn pods, the usual kind of thing, similar to kind of what the bugs are. Now, with Setia, we are going on an offensive mission. The offensive missions is where the blobs change a lot, because now they have a chance to fortify. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do it as if it's a field report from a soldier, and then I'll go into more detail of what other possible missions you can do outside of that scenario. Due to the success of containing the blobs on Shete, Super Command issued immediately offensive order. Advance Setia, eliminate hostile biomass, establish forward defense position. Unlike Setia, this is not an investigation. This is a full-on assault. Calling in my pod now, heading to the surface. Hopefully, we'll land in a good spot and make it home. Huh? Landed without any complications. First thing I will say is no mist. Nothing, actually. It's clear. Just like before. No enemies, no patrols, just calm. We'll push on to the close settlement. But we know the second we hit this slime, they're coming out at us. Those commie blobs are going to come at us. We have to be ready. And Shete, just as we expected, the second we hit one of the clusters, the enemy resistance became... Now, it was light. The first phase of the operation, the small blobs organism was absorbing, moving through abandoned structures and architectural stones. They didn't organize any patrols or formations, and they didn't attack directly. But, like always, the second we put a flame to that blob pile, they just came at us. But we held them off. Nothing new, nothing different. We're pushing over the hill, and I'll report then. Jesus. We, energy log 9. We, breached the hill and got a sight of the city. It's gone. At least from what we can see. There's a dome over it. Looks like hardened slime. Concrete, strong. We, to be told, we don't know what it is. But we, fired down explosives from the hell bomb. Nothing. Didn't even scratch it. We contacted command. They issued a new order. There's a landing site not too far from here. We're going to call down an industrialist driller. We'll escort it to the entry point and start drilling. Hopefully that'll make it through and we'll see what's inside this thing. Alright, we're making progress. We secured the landing site and called in the driller. One of the guys driving it to the entry point now. Stewboard was doing nice enough to put in flamethrowers on the side of it, so we can keep them at a distance. Just make sure they don't get close. That acid explosion is something different. But we're not too far off now, so once we hit contact, I'll fill us in on the report. We're in. We took a while. We lost a few. We have a few more coming in. We have a hole drilled right into this goddamn fucking dome. We're guarding ourselves. Once we go inside, we have no access to super destroyers. No backup, no ammo, just ourselves and whatever the hell is in there. But anytime you get nervous, just remember, you are doing this for support, for democracy. I'm not dying to no commie blob. Over and out. So, am I just supposed to press play? What? Oh, yes, okay. So the guy who was keeping record, he's dead. So I guess I'll continue. So the dome inside is. We went in. It's slime everywhere. It's fucking dark. The mist is back, and they have some new guys in here, man. I tell you. So there was like this one thing. It was like slightly bigger than the small blobs, right? So, but it didn't bounce. It just kind of slid towards us. So we opened fire, but it thing just expanded like a small bubble, and then immediately crossened, and boom, bullet bounces right off the thing. And all the blobs were kind of hiding behind it, right? So, and then once they gathered up, they just started jumping over the damn thing towards us, so we couldn't get a shot at the goddamn things. We got pushed back, so, luckily, fucking one of the guys had anti-tank, so that blew that thing right up, and we were able to keep firing again. But they just kept coming. They kind of like throw in front of us, swell out, and block off entryways, and they come over to us. It was a fucking slaughter, man. And then that wasn't bad enough. Oh man. So we use up all the rockets trying to get through these fucking things, right? So we go around the corner. All of a sudden, we see a big fucking blob. All right. Do you know those? Man, I can't think of the names, but do you know those? You have the vote list, and you have the vote list that they're all clumped together. I think that was one of them, except it's not clumped together anymore. Like, it's now clumped to a goddamn fucking vehicle and buildings, and like it's just arms of metal, concrete, fucking grass, moss, and you're shooting the thing, and then you blow off bypass, and they'll just throw it at you. I got a fucking car seat swung past my head. So we have explosives. We're shooting thing. Luckily, grenades, they launch straight inside the thing. So that blows up from inside out, so use your goddamn grenades. Just be careful though, the small one doesn't pick up, because they'll just fuck you with it. So, we were at the first spiral. So there's 3 massive spirals inside it, and they seem to be, we're told, the support structure. So, we're pushing it now. It's only me and one of the cadets. Once we have that, hopefully we'll be able to call in a bit of reinforcements, but god damn. Over and out. Alright, so cadet dead. Man, So, he put a flamer through the spiral, which is fantastic. Good job. That melts it straight away. That thing just collapsed right in. But when that did collapse, so did the roof. So he didn't run. And he kind of got crushed by the dome collapsing in. Good news is, though, that leaves a hole. So I was able to call in reinforcements, and I got myself some ammo and some of those beautiful stims. So we're ready to go. We're stacking up. One of the guys is calling in a mech now, or a walker, and we are going to bring hell to this place. We have 2 more spirals to go. Once they're taken care of, we can get to the center of this thing and hell bomb the fucking shit out of it. Don't bring a walker. Jesus Christ, don't bring a goddamn walker. So, all the small ones jumped onto this goddamn arm, ripped that shit off, and then used it against it. They fucking spiraled up into this kind of dome thing and fired at it. Then one of the guys with the laser rifle got killed. It did the same thing, picked it up, joined with a few more of them blob things, shot up like a tower, and it started lasering us. Man, these things are fucking crazy. But yeah, if you die, man, just be careful what weapons you bring. They will use that shit against you. Man, mission report. Where do I pick this fucking thing up? So, 2 spouses down, fantastic. Plenty of holes. Plenty of people coming back. I think my arm is fucked, but hopefully one of the guys will have a sting when they come down. So we're going to move into the house, and they drop mines as well. Actually, I forgot to mention that. One of the guys dropped down, took a step out of his fucking pod, and just got launched into the air. It doesn't do any damage, but the fall definitely does, man. His legs are fucked. So we're almost there. We're almost there, man. And then we're going home. The only thing is, though, once we do blow this thing up, what's going to happen to the dome? Because it's looking pretty shaky at the moment. And I don't think I'm going to be running very far. Alright, shouldn't much longer now. We made it to the heart. Damaged it enough to breach a few holes, and we're just waiting for this hell bomb to drop. Once it does, we're lighting this fucking place up. It's I suppose I'm supposed to give a description, aren't I? It's this big spiral, you know, fucking think of flesh, think of like a meaty, slimy, disgusting fucking tower that's going over everything and straight to the roof. Once this is gone though, I don't know how well that dome is going to hold. So something tells me is that when this blows, we gotta run, and we gotta run fast. And I hope the slimes kind of blow with it, because fire caused them to explode in a very destructive manner. I don't know what a nuclear hell bomb is going to do, but I'm not going to be fucking here to find out. Okay, and it's in. Okay, one of the cadets are typing in the goddamn code, and he fucked up. Okay, I'm going to punch the cadet and then type in the code. Yep, I was fucking right. Everything is collapsing. Everything is fucking falling, man. We should have bought a Jeep. Oh my god. Okay, we're going to make a run for it. I know the way out. There's holes there. I just need to find a hole, get the hell out, and get off this fucking planet. I'm on the evac shuttle. We're going home, boys. We're going home. That was something else. That was new. I hear stories about the other factions, but it's new when you see it firsthand. But we made it. Another day for democracy. Another day for support. Well, and I'm back. So I hope you enjoyed kind of the mini story in a sense. I want to show off what the enemy type would do psychologically to the Helldivers more than just stats and numbers on the screen itself. And sorry for the AI generated images. I hope that someday I'll be in a situation that I'll be able to hire a lovely, fantastic artist to be able to illustrate it properly for you. But unfortunately, today is not that day. Now, that was an offensive on a city or building itself. And that kind of gives you an idea of what way the enemy behaves. It's more of an environmental attacking you than just swarming you as well. It sets up roadblocks, it sets up heavies, and it artillery strikes you with its own kamikaze blobs. And if you die, it will take your weapons and use it against you as the kind of spiral laser sights. I thought that'd be an interesting idea. Now, obviously, I don't know how the game engine will be able to handle that, but because it's a fictional mindset, I don't really have to care about limitations. My other mindset was that blobs will be affected by your weapons. So, as I mentioned before, if you use gas on a regular one, they will float because they unstabilize them and you can shoot them. If you use fire, they'll bubble and explode, which kills ones around them, but also possibly you. And weapons and bullets, they can weaken the slime or they can shoot back the smaller ones a bit. So there's a few technical tweaks you can do with it as well. And they'll also grab grenades and bring them back to you. The reason why I wanted to make fire effective but also not ideal is because we already have flamethrowers against the bugs. And we have kind of heavy weapons against the robots. And to be honest, the Illuminate, the squids, usually just be heavy machine guns as well. So I wanted to kind of have something that's a slight bit different. Also, if I was going to add this faction, I would add a frost kind of war bond where you have ice grenades, freeze rays, kind of just to play around with them itself. Because my idea was ice was supposed to shrivel them and kill them. Safe as an option against them, but slightly slower than fire. So it kind of balances itself out that way. So I'm going to throw a bit of propaganda and then go into an example of a offensive mission that isn't in a city, because they will differ as well. So, with the dome destroyed, the city is finally secured. Super declares the population safe, and the propaganda battle course begins. Victory, containment, freedom for so-called mindless commie blobs. But celebrations didn't last long, because the planet itself is still infected, and the war is far from over. The new order comes in. Eliminate the remaining domes. Super Command issues a new directive. Locate and destroy the remaining domes scattered across the planet. At first, Helldivers expect another open assault, another city, another fortress. But the next target isn't in a city at all, it's everywhere. High in the mountains, hidden in dense forests, buried deep in the bogs and farmlands. And according to scattered reports, some may even exist beneath the ocean. No roads, no infrastructure, no clear landing zones, and no safe way to deploy heavy drilling equipment. This time the mission changes again. You don't break the dome from the outside, you go through the wound. The blobs have evolved. Instead of building massive surface domes, it has begun carving itself into the planet, anchoring deep into the ground, spreading through tunnels. But growing beneath the surface did create a weakness, a vent system. Organic openings where pressures and biomes escape to the surface, and that's where the Helldivers strike. Your squad will have to locate the blob vent. This is a kind of an open and pulse breathing, allowing oxygen in and out of the dome. There's no room for heavy machinery and no safe path for vehicles. The only option is direct entry. You move inside, descending into a maze of narrow, twisted caverns filled with living biomass. Visibility drops, sound echoes, and the deeper you go, the more aggressive the swarm become. Because you're not attacking the structure anymore, you're inside the organism. But not all is lost. Once you find the entry point to the dome itself, you can secure it and call in a hell bomb. Now, this detonating tears open the surrounding rock and biomass, creating a stable breach point that allows reinforcements and supply teams to reach you. Now, it still doesn't give you direct access to the dome. You'll have to drop in from that hole and enter into the breach point. But it will give you a shorter route to the dome from that point forward. And then from that moment, the mission becomes a sustainable assault. And then from there, the same concept will be the same. You're in the dome, destroy the spirals, weaken the heart, drop the hell bomb, and escape through the entry point you came through. So it'll still carry the same mission structure. So if you're assaulting, it's not going to be a massive difference each time. So from this point, I believe we have a reasonable enemy entry into the franchise that still doesn't disrupt the complete balance of the other factions. Now, the only next question, and this is the most important one, is how are they the victim? See, all the Helldivers, there's a hidden kind of plateau that we're the bad guys. You know, the wars that have created around us is from our own devices. For example, the bugs we captured and mined them for, I believe, fuel. For the robots, now that was questionable, but they originated on an ice planet, so there is rumors that we created them to be more efficient miners. Then they wanted freedom, and we straight up faked an attack to attack them. And for the Illuminate, they was originally a peace treaty, but we claimed that there was bombs on whole other planets and attacked them again. So for this faction to truly fit into the universe, we have to be exploiting them. There's a reason why we're attacking them. Now, it's important that when we first go into contact, that they don't attack us. That's why I had it that they're only attacking the Illuminate at the start, because they're rebelling against those that experimented on them. After that, then we send an investigation team and immediately start attacking. From that point, then it's basic biology. It wants to defend itself. It wants to survive. Then it moves on to the cities, and we keep going from there. But the final piece of the puzzle for this faction is when the reason why it's aggressive and why it's a miss at the start is as long as it feels threatened, it will continuously consume biomass till it grows to a point where it no longer feels threatened. So the very first time we fight him, the dome will be reasonable size. It's big. It's taking over part of the city, but you'll see still some around it. And the mist stops. The mist stops because it's no longer doing defensive measures. It's producing oxygen. That's why it has vent holes. The vent holes are producing oxygen because higher oxygen counts increases the structures of the biomass. So bigger wildlife means they eat less and it survives longer. So it's kind of a yin and yang relationship with the universe itself, well, with the planet itself. And maybe that's my reason why Super Earth wants it. Super Earth is overpopulated. I imagine there's no much wildlife or trees. This is a creature that can produce oxygen for them, or possibly even increase the efficiency of the stems. You know, this bacterial by nature, it can be adaptive and changed, just like the Illuminate did. That's my reason why Super Earth continues the assault. Um, Maybe the creature tries to communicate, Super Earth doesn't listen anyway, it doesn't make a difference. But once it finds out that it produces oxygen, fucking fantastic. If they can contain that and repurpose it, higher oxygen quality for the entire planet. So that my reason why they would be secretly the victim. They were thrown into a world that hates them, tries to kill them, and all they're trying to do is find a home. And once they no longer feel threatened, they'll stop growing. But because they're on a constant attack, they feel like they'll keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger to no longer be threatened. And Super Earth, not exactly going to let it sit there. And that's why the final point is that it hides in the oceans, it hides in the forests, hides in the mountains, because it's not trying to take over, it's just trying to survive. And that will be the final piece for the last faction, to make him, you know, a hidden victim in it all. But I think this is probably long enough for a video that I was only planning doing 10 minutes on, because I kind of got a little weird with it. I got over in depth, but look, I like the what ifs. But if you agree or if you disagree, by all means, let me know in the comments. If there's a different faction that you think would be better in the Helldivers universe, or if there's something that I left out in this one that you feel would be important to the plot or to the mission itself for Helldivers, let me know in the comments. And of course, if you like the content. Now, this is different from my usual. I probably won't be doing this again, or very often. But if something does pop up that I think is fun, what if, I'll always throw a video on it maybe. But if you like the content, always like and subscribe, and I will see you all next one. Bye.